welcome to the Film Fan Club Show. It's Comic-Con, our special Comic-Con recap episode. I know it already feels like it has been too long since we've had the goodness of news from comic book movies and etc. every single day, but it's only been like 3 days since the wrap-up of the event. I'm here with Tony Frazier. My name's Sam Carrico. How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing fine.
From Hero Go Home, of course. Before we get into all the Comic-Con stuff, you've been doing some new stuff on your website, Hero Go Home, since your last appearance on the podcast. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, well, I've picked up on my Super Movie Mondays, where I do in-depth recaps of superhero films. And I just finished Spider-Man 2. Next week I'm going to start a 3-part look at Spider-Man 3. And starting this Friday, I'm going to be launching a new YouTube series as well that I'm hoping to bring out once a week. We'll see what happens.
Are you going to share the YouTube videos on HeroGoHome.com?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you can go to HeroGoHome.com, excuse me, for the latest and all that stuff, and we'll be, of course, I'm sure, talking about that in future stuff. So let's talk about Comic-Con. We just both got a chance to watch a lot of the Comic-Con coverage of the trailers and whatnot that came out. Do you have anything specific that jumped out at you that you were remembering from this year's Comic-Con? Of course, we weren't there, but there's a lot of news that jumped out from it.
I don't know about news. I really like the new Doctor Strange trailer. That it really, really is looking like it's going to be a visually spectacular movie.
It is. You got some hints of like Inception there, and like it looks like a very trippy kind of film, very unique to Marvel up until this point. We'll go a little bit more in depth into that in a second, but let's start out with all the Warner Brothers stuff, of course, including DC Comics. Of course, they kind of have been trying to change the narrative, of course, pushing out their Suicide Squad movie, which comes out on August 5th, and then after the reaction to Batman vs. Superman was a little bit mixed, they're trying to kind of show, no, this is what our movies are going to be like now. So they had this Wonder Woman Comic-Con trailer. You just saw it. What did you think of it, Tony?
I don't know. I don't get a big... It looks like there's going to be a lot of action that's taking place in World War I, but yes. I don't really get a sense of what the I don't know, like what the point of it is.
Who's the bad guy? What's he trying to do? Why is she stopping him?
She's comes to the man's world and fights in World War I, but I don't see anything a personal hook to really bring me into the story.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. From what I can gather as far as the plot of the film, it seems like it opens up. Steve Trevor crash lands on the Amazonian island. It gets exposed to their culture a little bit. We go into her backstory, and then of course she learns about his plight and decides to go into World War I, where she gets launched into some adventure. And what that adventure is, it's kind of like Suicide Squad to the extent where we know that Amanda Waller brings together this group of Arkham Asylum inmates to try and get some bad people to do some good. But beyond what they're brought together to do, and we know it involves the Joker, but we don't know what really the plot of Suicide Squad is. So I feel the same way about Wonder Woman.
The difference with Suicide Squad is that you have so many strong personalities. Even in the trailer, you can see strong personalities kind of striking sparks off of each other. So you can see where the appeal is going to be.
Oh, definitely. They're marketing off the characters and off of who's going to be in this film rather than what they're going to be doing. And yeah, it is a curious thing because this film doesn't have the star power with Gal Gadot because she's, her main role is Batman vs. Superman and Dawn of Justice. And so you would think they would count on kind of, here's this spectacular stuff that we're going to be getting into in the film, which they did to a degree because there were still a lot of great action shots, of course. What did you think of kind of just the tone of the film? It was had some more humor to it, and then some of the action.
Well, I don't know. I think they're trying to push Chris Pine as a leading man. I don't know how well that's going to work. There are a lot of guys who they'll try to really push them as a leading man to see if they can actually open a picture, but I don't know if Chris Pine is the guy who's going to do it for him.
Another guy who's like that, I think, is Jai Courtney, who's ironically, or not, I guess maybe not ironically, but he's going to be in Suicide Squad. And for a while, they've been kind of saying, all right, Jai Courtney, here's your movie star, and we're like, I don't know if I'm into that, so it'll be curious to see.
The action looks good, although, I don't know, there seemed to be kind of a, they cut it so quickly that I don't know. There's something about the rhythm of the editing that was throwing me off. I've heard
other people point that out too. That it was just a little bit weird, especially kind of whenever you comparatively, just how the trailer starts. Then there's like a halfway point where it just starts to fast. Someone clicked the fast forward button or something like halfway through. So that was pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Wonder Woman. I think that this movie, again, I wish that they wouldn't have had Wonder Woman and all the Batman vs Superman marketing. I wish that she would have been, just a surprise towards the end of that film, and then that would have really hyped us up to, okay, man, I can't wait to see what she's going to be doing next. I felt like I would have this would have been more impactful had we not had so much overexposure of that character already, which I feel like they did because they were just so quick to want to get that satisfaction from the fans of having the Justice League brought together. So it'd be nice. I feel like this still was a good trailer. It definitely had some flaws, but the impact could have hit a little bit harder if they would have just been playing the long run, which I don't think is something they've been doing yet. So unless you have any more thoughts on Wonder Woman. All right, let's move on into the Justice League stuff. So after that, I guess this is all at the Warner Brothers panel. I have no idea which day it was. It's all at Comic-Con's kind of a blur to me. They continued on with the Justice League stuff. I believe they had the cast come out, and they had this special first picture of the cast together. I don't know if you've seen that picture yet. There it is right there. And it looks pretty cool. You get a new look at the updated Batman costume. Of course, interestingly enough, Henry Cavill as Superman is pictured with the cast, but he's not in the trailer. And of course, the trailer we got a chance to see, it shows Bruce Wayne talking to Aquaman and the Flash, and then Wonder Woman trying to bring the League together. Not a lot of significantly less action, it seemed like, from the Justice League trailer. So what'd you think of that one?
I liked it.
You did?
I didn't think I was going to like Ezra Miller much as the Flash. I think I feel a little better about him now, although I'm still kind of on the fence, but I had never heard of him before. So people keep telling me I kept reading things that he was supposed to be some up and coming actor, but I never seen anything he was in. So if somebody said, hey, it's Ezra Miller, I couldn't get excited about that.
Yeah, I disagree. I'm actually on the other side of you on that one. I didn't know anything about Ezra Miller. I've heard The Perks of Being a Wallflower movie is pretty good. Yeah, I shared your thing on our YouTube or our Facebook. Make sure you like us on Facebook at facebook.com/the Film Fan Club. I post a lot of stuff on there, from articles that I find interesting from Tony's website and other videos and whatnot. That's where I'm getting a lot of this Comic-Con news right now. But forgot exactly what I saw. Oh yeah, but I didn't think that Ezra Miller was quite. I thought he kind of overdid it a little bit. I mean, he came in. I was indifferent to him before, but then I saw the trailer, this trailer, and he's like, I need friends. He's just, I don't know. We're doing this weird, fast talking Mark Zuckerberg impression that I'm still a little bit on the fence about Ezra Miller as the Flash. Of course, I'm not a big fan of the Flash in general. There's just nothing that's really interested me so far. So. What about Aquaman? Did you like the Aquaman stuff that you saw? I mean, he didn't say anything in the trailer, but other than just looking cool.
Yeah, he's just there has been this movement at DC to try to make Aquaman interesting by making him just angry all the time. I don't mind the Flash thing, because the performance that I'm seeing is something that interests me, is the idea that Ezra Miller is having to kind of hesitate and choose his words carefully because he's thinking faster than he can talk. Even though he's not trying to talk fast, but he's kind of consciously having to hold back to slow down his thought processes. But Aquaman as just the guy who's angry all the time, I've never liked that characterization. I don't think I'm going to like it that much here.
I like what you said about Ezra Miller as the Flash, because now the next time I watch that trailer, I'm going to be thinking about his character in that sense, and it might add a new layer to it that I didn't previously see. So again, like you said, Aquaman didn't really have a lot to do in this trailer. He just kind of hulked around looking. Someone made this really funny meme or GIF or GIF or however you say it of him, the shots of him by the water and whatnot, throwing down the bottle, and this says like Giorgio Armani cologne, making you feel like Aquaman or something like that. So I thought that was pretty funny. What'd you think of the tone? There's a very distinct gear shift, change in the opposite direction, course correction, I guess, between the tone from Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel to the Wonder Woman and Justice League trailers. So do you think that they're doing the right thing by making them more funny, adding some levity to the movies, or what?
Absolutely. I think the kind of the really powerful mythic feel that Zack Snyder's been going for, a little of that goes a long way. And
that is true.
They need, especially if you've got somebody like Ben Affleck who has a sense of comic timing, that you know, why not use that? I like the scene between him and Wonder Woman where they're, you know, they get to, it's not super jokey, but you do get that sense
just
of
a little bit of just a little oh yeah.
Yeah.
I really again like it's for me, I felt like it was just night and day difference between the type of humor they're going for with the, you know, I don't have friends, or versus the he said no, you know, just kind of the normal interaction between two people that would be seen as humorous versus someone trying to, oh, I'm going to be funny in this line with the way I see this line. Or also a good example of bad comedic timing is she with you? I thought she was with you. It did not work in that scene at all. But so again, we didn't touch on it with the Wonder Woman stuff, but the new trailer, or the new poster came out, of course, ahead of that trailer. So what did you think of that poster? It's just a teaser poster, of course, but it's an interesting look at her. I mean, I like the power, grace, wisdom, wonder. Summer 2017. I don't know. Not a lot to say from this.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get excited about posters, especially if I've already seen the clips of the person in the costume. So
yeah, again, this is one of the things that made me think. If I had never seen Wonder Woman before, though, if she was not in Batman vs Superman, if I had not seen any stills of Gal Gadot in the costume, and I saw this, and this was my first inclination that, oh my God, there's gonna be a Wonder Woman movie. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool if I could show this to myself. You know, in this time in 2013, 2014, I'd be like, holy crap, that's awesome. So, but yeah, other than, again, in the day that, this day.
It's a strong image, it's a good one sheet, but it's nothing that you know, I'm kind of, I don't get excited over posters.
Yeah, it's like whatever, yeah.
But unless I don't know anything about the movie. Then when I see the poster, I can say, oh, that gives me an idea.
Exactly. This is something that I'll put on, if I get my hands on a copy of it, I'll put it on my wall, but it doesn't make for very interesting news story. So what's next, I believe, is Harry Potter. Yes, continuing within Warner Brothers Pictures. They had a bunch of other stuff too. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's the Harry Potter spinoff about Newt Scamander, who wrote the textbook that they use at Hogwarts. It's kind of, I guess, about his adventures in 1920s New York. Tony, are you a Harry Potter fan?
I read all the books, but I have not gone back to reread them since the last one came out. I kind of, once it was done, I was kind of done with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It wasn't something that you keep with you forever, because a lot of these fans, they're very die-hard in the sense of the term. So, I mean, there's, I never really was a Harry Potter fan. I saw the first 3 and then, like, the last 3. Yeah. So, I never really, I mean, I watched them casually. I liked the, whenever I watched, I liked, especially the last 3. They were the tone was significantly different by the time you get to the last one. So, what did you think of this trailer? It looks like they're continuing with the tone of the last 3, kind of.
I haven't seen the last 3 pictures. The last one I saw was Goblet of Fire. I've read all the books, but I didn't go to the movies.
Oh, wow. Why was that? You just didn't see it?
It's a long story.
Okay.
But I like the 1920s setting. Beyond that, I don't know. Some of the effects look a little iffy for me. There's a lot of CG in this.
Yeah, one thing I mentioned to Hannah when I was watching this for the first time, it was a lot of people just striking a pose with their wand, and then like some flippity, you know, stereotypical CGI fluttery, you know, like a swarm of butterflies or something. Looks like it at least flies out, and it's just a lot of that over and over and over again. I get that, and it's cool. And I mentioned to you while we were watching the trailer. I thought it was pretty funny because for the very first, it seemed like teaser. They're like, we're gonna make this stand on its own, not use the Harry Potter theme. It's gonna be its own thing. And then for the second one, it's like, all right, fine, we'll put in the Harry Potter theme song. And then now for every trailer, it's just like, all right, just you got to put in the Harry Potter theme song. I don't know. I liked this trailer a lot, but it wasn't quite as good as the last trailer. I think my favorite Fantastic Beasts trailer was the second one that they had, the one that, of course, had the return of the Harry Potter theme song. So I guess to you, as someone who didn't watch the last 3, was it the last 3? However many, will this be something that will bring you back to the theater to watch a new movie in this universe?
I don't know.
You don't know yet.
I'm really picky about the movies I go see anymore. I don't get out to the movies a lot.
Is this something that your daughter might be interested in?
Might
She's right about the age. She's like a teenager, right? So she's right about the age that she's into that sort of
she
thing,
might
maybe.
Be. If she wants to go, we'll go.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, that's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find It. I did like the last line, though, in this trailer where he's like, I want to be a wizard, and it does the dun, 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 dun. I'm like, oh, that's cute and whimsical. I love it. So, moving on to Kong Skull Island. Now, while I'm remembering it, right before they had a Kong Skull Island trailer that came out at Comic-Con, they had this poster that came out. It's pretty interesting. Thoughts on the poster? It confirms, I guess, the size of King Kong. He's going to be huge in the film.
He is going to be huge.
I don't know what that greenish hue is.
Well, this guy's popping smoke for somebody to come, helicopters to come pick him up, probably.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be near King Kong if I was that close. Although if you're that close to him, you're probably no good anyways.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the trailer, though. What did you think of that Kong Skull Island trailer? This is our first piece of footage from the film, I think, right? Yeah, I think so. Other than a still that they had.
I think it's the first. Yeah, I think it's the first one I've seen.
So, what did you think of it?
It's interesting. The idea that they've gone from this. The original Kong was basically a movie crew, and then now they've gone to this idea of almost like a military strike team.
Yeah.
But it's to protect surveyors.
It reminded me a little bit of Jurassic Park 3. I don't know what they were doing on the island in Jurassic Park 3, but these people.
I really do like the shot with the 3 helicopters, and then you see the dragonfly in the foreground that looks the same size as the helicopters, so that you get that idea, that foreshadowing that there are going to be like giant creatures here. And Kong is just immense.
Yeah, that
just
first
huge
picture we just saw it where he's you see the bloody handprint or paw print of Kong. It's like, oh my gosh, this thing it's a little. I remember whenever we first saw the trailers for the two of us, but whenever I first saw the trailers for the 2014 Godzilla movie, and we first got the inclination, because I do believe, I don't know, he was pretty big in that movie, Godzilla. So I was like, holy crap, this guy. So I get the same feeling from this new Kong Skull Island trailer. What do you think of the cast, though? You got John Goodman, Samuel L. Jackson, Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson. This is a star-studded cast.
It's a strong cast. I like it. I'm really looking forward to see what John Goodman does with this, especially. I don't see him enough.
Yeah, he was in 10 Cloverfield Lane this past year, which he had a really creepy role in, a very good role in. And I kind of got some similar vibes from that whenever Samuel L. Jackson is like, man, that scene where King Kong's taking down the helicopter, that's awesome. But I got some reflections of Goodman's role in 10 Cloverfield Lane whenever Samuel L. Jackson's pointing the gun. He's like, you tell me what's going on here or I'll blow your head off. So definitely going to be pretty excited. It comes out in March of 2017, so there's a lot of good stuff that's coming out pretty soon, relatively. So you have any more thoughts on the Kong Skull Island trailer? Are you excited for a potential Kong versus Godzilla movie? Kelly's over there shaking his head no.
I don't know. It might be interesting. The one thing, this is going to be weird, the one thing that the association that I get from the Kong Skull Island trailer, you're too young to remember back in 1974, I want to say, when Dino De Laurentiis produced his King Kong. They made a big deal out of the fact that an Italian special effects artist named Carlo Rambaldi built a full-size Kong robot that they ended up only using for about a second and a half in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, it was it was this big stiff-looking piece of crap. It could barely move, but they had to include it in at least a one or two shots for just very, very brief flashes, so that they could say, that they had spent their money on something tangible, right? But he just kind of stands still, and the shots of Kong in this, he seems very inert. He's huge and striking, but he's not moving a lot, and so I just kind of get that sense of that giant Carlo Rambaldi statue. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, he looked a little rubbery too for me, for my taste. But again, they still have a little while. With what you said about the I believe it was the Fantastic Beasts trailer. You said the CGI was a little bit wonky, and I'm like, I almost thought, well, they got some time, but no, really they don't, because with Fantastic Beasts, it's coming out in November, and that's as far as movie production schedule goes. When it comes out in November, and we're at the end of January end of July, early August, it's like, well, you might want to get those CGI effects buttoned up real quick. So yeah, let's move on to the from all the Warner Brothers stuff into the Marvel stuff. The big thing, one of the big things, of course, was again a set of a poster and a trailer. Firstly, for the well, lots of Defender stuff, but strong Doctor Strange poster. If I can find that, what did you think of that poster? Which is I'm showing you right now.
Oh, I haven't seen the poster.
Oh yeah, it's got him walking out of a little mystical like thing. Something they showed in the trailer was that you can travel instantly through portals and stuff, and that's what they show in the Doctor Strange poster.
I like the effect they have for the portals, and I noticed it doing a lot of stuff that's kind of like kaleidoscope effect.
Yeah, very much so.
This combines both of those concepts. I like his costume.
Yeah, it's very comic book accurate, but it doesn't look ridiculous at the same time, which is something I was really wondering how they were going to be able to do that, because Doctor Strange kind of looks ridiculous on his costume from the comics. It's like, that's going to be weird. But then you see it in this trailer, and it's like, it works. So what'd you think of the trailer? I
like it. I'm really looking forward to it. You get a sense of this is going to be kind of a trippy movie. I like Benedict Cumberbatch. He's a good performer.
Was he your first choice for the role whenever you heard they were making one?
By the time I heard they were making it, they had already cast him.
Oh, so it was just kind of like, okay, I'm down with it.
I usually when I hear something like that anymore, unless it's somebody just really bizarre, I'll be like, I'll wait until I see the picture. I'll wait until I see the trailer and see how he's playing it. But I like the way I like what I see. I'm excited for it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. I like that they're tackling the origin story of Doctor Strange, because it's not something where like a Spider-Man or Batman origin story where it's like, oh my gosh, just skip over it, I don't want to see this. It's like, no, I'm really genuinely interested on how Stephen Strange became the Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange. And of course Baron Mordo, I think, is that cool shot. There's some really cool shots of him learning how to control his powers, so I'm always down for a really cool origin story where he's learning his like the tagline says, the impossibilities are endless, which I think is a pretty cool tagline. Chiwetel Ejiofor, though, plays his friend who I guess in the comics turns bad, Baron Mordo, and then Mads Mikkelsen, who you see right there, is playing the villain for this film. Mads Mikkelsen is a pretty good actor. Have you seen a lot of the stuff that he's been in?
No.
He's in. Have you seen Casino Royale with Daniel Craig?
I have.
He's the Le Chiffre, the teardrop villain. He's very menacing, very cool character. So, any final thoughts on the Doctor Strange trailer, and what your hopes for that movie are? I have no other thoughts than what I've said. What you said. Well, that cool shot of him with the. Excuse me, sorry. A really cool shot of him with the cape and looking out. I love the Inception-y twists of the buildings twisting over, and then again back at it with the Marvel humor for the little tag at the end. It's like, this is the Wi-Fi password. We're not savages. So I forgot about this up until right now. So there's this piece of concept art for released for Spider-Man. Of course, Spider-Man is now within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so they're including him in their Comic-Con panels. It shows him fighting the Vulture, who is not confirmed to be Michael Keaton yet, but Michael Keaton's in the movie, and the Vulture is confirmed to be in the movie. So you'd almost think it's a waste if they didn't make Michael Keaton the Vulture, right? Would it be a waste? Is it too much of a thing after he was Birdman? I don't think it's that much of a thing. I don't think people are gonna jump on it too much. I mean, other than like, what else would they do? Make him J. Jonah Jameson or something like that? Oh, I hope not. You don't think so? Well, I mean, hopefully they would make him Birdman. I think so. So what do you think about this concept art? You do like the design of the Vulture? He's got some kind of turbines there propelling him up. It looks like they've got it kind of, at least to me, it kind of makes me think that they're putting it in kind of the same family as the Falcon's flying gear, which I like. I like the idea that all of these things have a kind of a feels like it's from the same universe. Yeah. I like consistency. Well. Yeah, and I like I never noticed that. I never noticed if the Vulture in the comics ever used his feet as talons or anything as a weapon. Did he? He didn't really. But that's kind of a cool added thing. Do you like the addition of that?
it makes him more of a threat. The Vulture in the comics, at least as I remember, I don't remember reading a lot of comics with the Vulture. He always seemed like a kind of a boring character to me, but then I've only read some of the very, very early Vulture stories. He's basically an old man who had a suit with wings.
Yeah, and I think Sam Raimi always wanted to do Vulture for Spider-Man 4, didn't he? Wasn't that his plan?
I don't know.
There's some rumors there.
There were rumors that he wanted to use Vulture.
Rumors of a Vulturess, potentially?
Either in... I think at one point he wanted to use it in Spider-Man 3 before they forced Venom on him, and then... and then maybe in 4, I still wish he'd been teasing Lizard for like 3 films, so I wish he'd gotten...
Yeah, he had the guy cast. He had the seeds planted, and they never got a chance to do Lizard. But then they rebooted it, and it's like, you know what? I think it's time to do Lizard. So it's pretty funny. I'm looking forward to that. I like the mask again, too. And then it almost looks like they just took a goblin glider and put it on a guy's back or something. I don't know. So... really interested to see if they do Norman Osborn in the new Spider-Man movies. So, okay. And one last thing that I thought was really interesting coming out of San Diego Comic-Con was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. You saw the first Guardians of the Galaxy... Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
That'd be weird if we skipped one. You saw the very first Guardians of the Galaxy.
I did.
Yeah, and did you like it?
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, what did you think? It kind of small review of it.
Oh, man, it's been so long since I've seen it.
You like the cast?
Yeah, the cast is great. It's they've got a great ensemble rapport with each other. You've got some sharp writing, a lot of nice dialogue. The characters play off each other well. The villain is kind of weak. I hope they do have a better villain than Ronan the Accuser. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to see who their villain is. I wonder if we'll get more Thanos presence in this, because he was in the other film, and you think he'd be pissed off by them taking out Ronan. I don't know, because Ronan the Accuser is kind of a traitor there towards the end. I don't know. Do you know anything about Ego, the Living Planet?
Not a lot.
Because I guess that's who Kurt Russell is playing, and that's who Star-Lord's father was, who's not Jason, who was, I guess, his original father in the comics. Do you know anything about that?
No, I stopped reading Marvel in the late 80s, and everything has changed since then. So
yeah, well, I mean, I guess the prospect of
the Guardians of the Galaxy were an entirely different team back in the 70s and 80s.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, and that wasn't until like some of the early, like the 2000s, where they rebooted them and changed them to the current lineup. So I guess just the prospect of Kurt Russell playing a planet in something also that is Peter Quill's father. So who do you think? Do you like this idea, or are you going to go with it? You on the fence? You're going to need to see how they do it.
Yeah, I just have to see how they do it. It's not. I'm not. I have just heard Ego the Living Planet and Peter Quill's father, and there are so many questions that opens up. But I can think of 3 or 4 ways they might want to. They might justify it. So I just have to see what they do with it. I'll keep an open mind.
I mean, of course, after seeing the first film, of course, it's like we were really, at least I was very much kind of wondering how they were going to even tackle this whole concept of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So they were able to pull it off so well that I'm kind of almost like, all right, James Gunn, you just make your movie and I'll come and watch it and see what I think of it. I'm not going to be quick to judge. I guess.
Having seen the first film, I feel more inclined to trust him.
Yeah.
So just wait and see.
I guess they played 2 songs. They showed footage, of course, to Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con, and they played 2 songs, Come a Little Closer by Jay and the Americans and The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. I guess those songs could be on Awesome Mix Volume 2. Not necessarily, but they are great tunes, is what James Gunn, director, said. Do you know these songs? Have you heard them? What would you like to see on the soundtrack for the next film?
Yes, I know these songs, but
could they fit in a Guardians of the Galaxy type soundtrack? Because I think I don't know what year they're from, but it sounds like the right about time frame.
Yeah, the Fleetwood Mac especially, I could see them using.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So what? Anything else that you really are looking forward to that you think they should do in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movies, or anything in the Marvel slate, I guess, coming out as we wrap up our Comic-Con coverage. How are you feeling about everything that we've gotten out of this year's Comic-Con? And who would you say had? What do you think? I don't want to say who won Comic-Con, but
I'm not even going to go.
You're not even going to go there
because I avoided like we haven't even talked about any of the TV stuff. I've been purposely avoiding all of the TV coverage.
Yeah.
So all of the stuff where they discuss the third seasons of all the Berlanti shows and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Iron Fist and all of that. I've purposely avoided all of that. I'm just kind of remaining spoiler free and hoping to have a fun fall.
Yeah, well, of course, this is the Film Fan Club podcast, so we don't talk about that TV crap. Well, I guess we do break the rules sometimes because for our Star Wars Celebration recap, which make sure you check that out in the podcast playlist, we did talk about some of the Star Wars shows and whatnot, and so occasionally we break that, but a lot of times we try and keep it film-centric, which is why I'm going to say, as far as the film, on the film side of everything shown at Comic-Con, I was mostly excited for the DC stuff. I mean, Doctor Strange looks great, but they didn't really show us anything for, like, I was already going to see Doctor Strange. I already was anticipating that movie, so this didn't really do a lot to change the needle on as far as my excitement, but for the Justice League stuff and the Wonder Woman stuff, I think it's a win. So, for the future reference, where can people find you online, Tony? And thanks again for coming on the show today.
Oh, no problem. It's at www.herogohome.com. And
you got a Twitter and YouTube, right?
I have a Twitter, Tony Frazier 1, at Tony Frazier 1, and my YouTube channel is also Tony Frazier.
I'll put a link to it in the description of this video, and I think I made it one of the featured channels.
A lot of the older stuff. It took me a while. I've just kind of got a bunch of random stuff on a bunch of weird, divergent subjects. But with this new series, I'm hoping that I'll stick with this new series for a while, and that it'll be more thematic.
You think you might eventually ever venture into creating a Hero Go Home official YouTube channel?
I don't know. I've considered it.
Yeah, I think that might be something worth checking out. Just kind of have a brand and something, kind of a specific video type.
The YouTube channel is already created from my. It's tied to my Hero Go Home email address.
Okay. On
my Hero Go Home site, so I don't. That's why I'm just sticking with that for now.
Stuff in the works, though. Yeah. So, yeah, again, what was it? Spider-Man 3, starting this Monday. Just wrapped up Spider-Man 2, Super Movie Monday. And then Spider-Man 2, got a special video on that coming this Friday, the 29th. And then a week later, you'll have a Superman video?
Superman the movie.
Superman the movie video. So, until next time, I'm Sam Carrico, and that's Tony Frazier. Thanks for joining us. This has been the Film Fan Club Show, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.